All right, you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2. Hello, D-Gens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the Brofect one, AJ. Joining me, as always, man with the number, sportsbook whisperer, college basketball guru, daddy of the diamond. All hail the king of the links, the money train, Noah. Happy Tour Championship weekend and happy kickoff to college football with week 0. I mean, I know the sports equinox is coming around in a little bit, but with the dog days of summer with just the baseball and the golf, we got college football back, brother. We've got playoff golf, the Tour Championship. I mean, it's one of those weekends that we have to look forward to the rest of the football season, and I'm so ready, bro. I'm just so pumped. I don't know about you.
Oh, hell yeah. Football's back. Football is back. We have a
Get out there.
championship weekend in the same weekend that we have college football returning to our graces. So, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Best thing is, right, like college football. Boom, Saturday. Not gonna lie, might not watch a ton of the golf on Saturday. Probably flip in and out, see what happens. But then, Sunday there's no college football. The NFL hasn't quite started yet, and so then I can enjoy the final round of the Tour Championship on Sunday, and then the very next week, what are we doing? Getting into week 1 of college football, as well as I believe NFL, right?
No. It's
Like a week
week
after.
0, week 1, and then NFL week 1. Because college football, NFL, shout out to them. They always are 1 week apart when we look at, what week number it is. So I do
Well,
like that
2 weeks if you
organization there.
consider week 0, but
But ESPN doesn't consider it week 0. They have it on their sheet as week 1, which this is the third year in a row that we've noticed that ESPN has done it. And for a program that has college football, college game day, you would think they would just kind of get it. And the guys on college game day are going to be calling it week 0. Everyone on their platforms have been calling it week 0. And
yeah,
so I don't get it. But shout out to ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. They know what they're talking about.
the
By
worldwide
the way,
leader,
McCormick in the chat, dude. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good one too, brother. We're chilling, man. We're
the
chilling.
worldwide leader in fuckery, ESPN.
Seriously, for real. But anyway, Noah, we've got a lot to talk about today with the Tour Championship and college football week 0. Before we do that, though, do just want to take a moment. Shout out to everybody watching here on Rumble, over on YouTube and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit that follow button. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But before we get into that, Noah, some interesting news, and this does tend to happen when we get to the Tour Championship. Just like the Super Bowl, just like the World Series, just like any major sporting event that comes to a conclusion at the end of the season, people are going to get in front of microphones and they are going to announce stuff and kind of the plan moving forward. Like, yes, this is the conclusion of our season, but this is what you have to look forward to in the years to come as we go into the off season. And the PGA is not any different, as they do come out and say apparently now there is a quote unquote future competition committee, Noah. And the person that will be heading this committee is none other than the man himself, Tiger Woods, to be, from what I've been gathering, shape the way golf will be played. The PGA Tour will be played in the future. And so whether that's adjustments to different tournaments, adjustments to pay structure, et cetera, they're going to try to figure this shit out. They're going to try to reinvent the wheel from the wheel that we have right now, a wheel that we've all grown up with, a wheel that we all love and, play on a regular basis. And I mean, listen, if the PGA just wants to keep Tiger Woods on their payroll, that's fine. Like, I have no issue with that whatsoever, to just keep him away from live golf altogether and not have any temptation, keep him under contract. I think it's a great move that way. Overall, though, they're also bringing in the guy who helped the MLB with the changes regarding the pitch clock, the base size, how many times you can throw over, pitch visits, et cetera. And so he's involved in this as well. So the big thing I see coming from this is a shot clock, Noah. That's the big the big change in the next couple of years I see coming to golf is and I'm not saying like a 30-second shot clock, like you walk up to the ball and you got to hit it, like 2-3 minute shot clock so you can analyze everything and do what you got to do. See kind of what we've seen in the TGL, but I don't know. What do you make of this, Noah? And do you think there's going to be really any big changes we need to be worried about coming up in the next couple of years?
I don't think there's going to be any big changes. I think the biggest thing is they're trying to figure out what to do with the PGA Tour playoffs and what
for sure
that format is going to be. I know this year we move away from the preferred scoring. Again, we've talked about still not really. I don't think really a positive or negative change though, right? Because there were reasons why the preferred scoring made sense. There's also, like, now with not having the preferred scoring, seeing Rory sit out the first playoff event, Sepp Straka not playing in the last one, which you just don't really see guys sitting out in the playoff events. And so something needs to be fine-tuned with the PGA Tour playoffs to find a good balance of like keeping it competitive, but also rewarding regular season performance.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be the biggest focus. I don't think we're really going to see rules changes. Golf as a sport, a lot of purists who are not really going to want to see any big impactful changes to the way that golf is played. I know pace of play is the one thing that does come up. I don't think necessarily a shot clock, but I could see potentially one way or another having a threat of like stroke penalties for slow play.
But again, what is slow play? And I think that's the biggest issue that is with this, because your slow play and my slow play is an objective thing.
Yeah, and it's a little arbitrary because obviously, and this is why I don't think a shot clock works, if you're out there on a par 5 and you're 290 yards out from the green, but there's guys on the green, like then it's completely arbitrary when you start that.
But they can make specific rules, like when the green, if you are, for example, you're on a par 5 and you hit your first shot. If there's people on the green, then your shot clock does not start until the group in front of you leaves the front. You know what I mean? And if someone triple bogeys, then you're going to be there for a minute. But
then when does that start? Like the second they step foot off the green, or like, you know what I'm saying? How it is kind of like an arbitrary, like how do you determine?
No, but they have pathways and stuff to the holes and stuff. So when they, they can say like when they step onto the pathway is when the clock starts, or when the caddy does, et cetera, et cetera. And so they can get down to the nitty gritty. And this is a whole ass committee, Noah. And we know committees don't waste time and they love getting into detailed stuff. And so I'm sure this committee would be able to figure out some reasonable.
98% of the time, I don't think the PGA Tour is negatively being affected by any slow pace of play, other than maybe annoying some of the players here and there. But I really don't think it's a big issue, and
it's not a killer. It's not a killer, but it's.
I think this committee is going to be more focused on, like I said, the playoffs first and foremost. Maybe looking at some restructuring of these signature events, which, by the way, they did announce which of 8 events will be signature events for next year. We do have the full PGA Tour schedule out.
Did you have those? Do you have those in front of you? If not, I can find them real quick.
I don't have them right in front of me. I know it starts with the Century, which is, I think, the first event of the season is going to be signature event. Usually is. Or, I don't know. What do we start with? Like the Sony Open and the Century are like the 2 first events?
Yeah, over there in Hawaii and everything.
We have a brand new event that will be a signature event this year, and it's the.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the Miami Open, the Miami Champ, whatever. The Miami.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the list. I haven't seen the list yet, and I got very hyped very quickly. Let's run through this list real quick, Noah. We've got the Century to kick us off, the Sony Open to follow it, the American Express, Farmers Insurance. Waste Management's going to be a signature, bro. Let's go. Let's. Huh?
It's not a signature event.
It says it is 2026 signature event schedule, Noah. Oh no, it's the ones in black. God damn it!
Well, they're all
Why
in black.
can't I read the fine print?
The ones in bold, yeah.
Yeah, I can't read fine print. No, why can't I ever read the fine print?
So
I
you've
got
got
very
the
excited.
full schedule in front of you. The bold ones,
Aw.
the signature events, yeah.
Well, fine. Then we got the AT&T Pebble Beach.
Well,
Genesis.
interesting that we're going back to back weeks and 3 and 4 weeks there with the Pebble Beach, the Genesis, and then the Arnold Palmer right after it.
Well, right here is around the time when, right here is when here's when the Super Bowl is. And so that's time for them to get market share. I know college basketball really picks up around that time, but still not a bad opportunity to get market share, watching something on a Sunday all day after a football season. Let me tune in to a signature event where I see a lot of names that I know.
Yeah,
So I kind of like that move.
Crazy too that we're going to have 4 of the 8 in the first 2 months of the season. I know there's no majors until you get a little deeper into the season, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, it should be fun there. Like I
Yeah,
said,
then you
you got
got the
a
Arnold
4 week
Palmer,
stretch with 3 of them.
RBC, Miami, and then the Truist.
Yep. And then that Miami Championship, that is a new event coming next year.
Yes.
That is going to be at one of the Trump National courses there.
At a Doorbell or Tordell or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dorel.
Well,
I think it's Doral or something. I don't know.
well, and then you got back-to-back
Yeah.
signature events there with the Miami and the Truist.
And then wrap it up with the Memorial and the Travelers.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not a bad schedule. Not a bad schedule. But Noah, one thing that's been in the talk of the PGA and the golf world, and even so much that Scotty Scheffler even commented on it today, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, the formatting of the PGA playoffs and the Tour Championship and everything like that. What we believe this new committee that Tiger Woods is leaving is going to go ahead and, general, because people love their brackets. College basketball, they love making their brackets. You can do that with the PGA. And so that makes sense from a fan point of view and everything. But then we got deeper into it, Noah. And I liked where we got to it. And I think it does solve a lot of the problems that you're looking for, because it does give a distinct advantage to the players that do finish high enough that they can be rewarded for how well they played all season, while still giving those, that played pretty good all season an opportunity to get there to the promised land in, I believe, a little bit more of a competitive way that doesn't involve so many points and gives everyone an opportunity while giving an advantage to those that are, and that is keeping that bracket style. But that's the second part of the tournament. Okay, that's the second part of the tournament. First tournament, no, correct me if I'm wrong, we were going to do 2 rounds.
Yeah, so I think the solution, if you'd like me to just explain it, AJ, that we landed
Go for
on
it.
here. And I know we've been pondering this for a few weeks now, and I keep saying, oh, well, I don't, it's the tough part's coming up with a good solution. I think we've finally done enough thinking, enough talking.
Yeah.
That it essentially boils down to a 6-day event. The golfers who finish 1 through 8, or who are going into the Tour Championship, are 1 through 8 in the FedEx Cup standings, get seeded 1 through 8. And so the back 4 days of this PGA Tour Championship is 4 days of match play. And so it's total tournament style match play.
Yeah.
And so these would be the guys seeded 1 through 8, and then they get their matchup. And so you got a match Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the championship on Sunday is just 2 golfers playing match play. Maybe you throw out 3 and 4 against each other just for like a third place.
Yeah, for a third place, and then you can do all the other seeds as well, probably.
Yeah, you keep doing that, and you totally could, because then you have 3 and 4 going against each other, and then you would also on that final day have, I believe, if I'm doing my math right, would boil down to 5 against 8, essentially, 6 against 7 for seeding or whatever, or 5, whatever. You figure out the seeding however the fuck you want to, but that way you at least have like 8 matchups going every single day through it. So there is a consolation like aspect to that for where your final seeding is. But then you're like, what about the other golfers, right? Because you got 8 guys who are into that match play, that 4-round match play
automatically
through
the FedEx points
by just finishing top 8. And then you can keep the number at 30. You can expand it. You can shrink it, do whatever you want to. And you do a 36-hole tournament for those other 8 spots to go against those other 8 seeded teams, or not teams, but players. And so say you have 22 guys going out there for a 36-hole round, top 8 finishers, and you're saying, oh, what about ties? Ties, I would say, would be broken by FedEx points
FedEx Cup points.
Yeah, so if 2 guys, or if you have 4 guys tied 8th, the guy who gets in is the guy who had the most FedEx Cup points going into that. I think it makes it easy, makes it simple. You have a nice Tuesday, Wednesday, 36-hole tournament, essentially, to play your way into that match play. And if you get into that match play, then you just got match play 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
That way you do take into effect the regular season, because Scotty's obviously getting the number 1 overall seed no matter what. He's going to be playing the number 16 guy. So whoever gets that 8th spot in out of the 22 golfers who are playing in that 36-hole tournament. And it's all on the same course too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All on the same course.
Which then you start saying, okay, it might provide some advantage to balance it a little bit for those guys who are lower down, because it's like you've had 2 extra competitive rounds out here.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to be a little tired. You're going into day 3 of a tournament when it's day 1 of this new tournament, but you've got experience on it now. No, this makes the most sense out of anything that we've ever talked about.
And I think it balances like the match play, the 36-hole tournament to get in there too. If you're in that 9 through 30 spot, you can't afford one bad round. You cannot afford one bad round. And you talk about a guy like Scotty Scheffler. Scotty doesn't have bad rounds. So he's still got an advantage, but it's not like this massive preferred strokes advantage.
Yeah.
Which, there's going to be some upsets, but that's why people love March Madness. They love March Madness because there's upsets. So theoretically, whoever the fuck, so Akshay Bhatia or Harry Hall or somebody like that ends up getting out of this. They're playing Scotty on Thursday in a match play. They're probably going to lose an 18-hole match play to Scotty.
But
if they have the round of their life, then they're on to the next round. Scotty gets bumped in the first one.
And then you got Cinderellas. You've got other storylines you can build off of. And then not only that, but the Tour Championship usually does line up with week 0 of college football. And college football usually does dominate the conversation for the week when you do have the biggest tournament of your season coming up. And so you go ahead and expand that into the week. I mean, then you're dominating a lot of that week, and people are just focusing on college football towards the end when you get into the match play. But then you're already bought in to the Cinderellas. You've made your brackets. You've made your bets. You're ready to get into it. This is such a win-win-win for everybody involved.
I like this idea that we have a lot better too, AJ, because it makes it very tough.
Yeah.
On those guys who are getting in, sitting,
by the skin of their teeth. They had to wait for someone to bogey on 18 to make sure they secured a spot or something like that. Yeah.
Even the guys who were fine last week, but like anybody who's sitting in that kind of 15 to 30, even 12 to 30 range, who like I'm sitting here thinking they really shouldn't have a chance at being crowned PGA Tour champion this year, but they do this year because we got rid of the preferred scoring. It makes it much tougher on those guys, still gives them a chance where they don't have to come back from a 6 to 10 stroke deficit coming into a tournament against the best golfer in the world. Like They play well enough Tuesday, Wednesday. If the seeding works out, they're going against Scotty, but they have a chance, clean slate, just one-on-one against Scotty rather than starting way back, but also doesn't give them an even playing field, right? They have to play their way into this. They have to do that. And then they got to win 3 more match play matchups after that, if that's the case. So I think it would be phenomenal. To your point, too, people love fucking brackets. They love brackets. I think you're going to, if you're sports books, you should be pushing this because you're going to increase the amount of people gambling on this shit. Because they're like, oh, you start throwing out some
talk about doubling your handle over a weekend, because you go in to place a college football bet, you're more than likely going to place a match bet on Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy or someone to win that or throw that into your parlay or something like that. Bro.
People are going to be real tempted too. The public's going to be real tempted when you get a Scotty Scheffler, Akshay Bhatia Thursday head-to-head matchup, and Bhatia's being hung out there in front of you at plus 450, plus 500. Like, people are going to take that bet. People are going to take that bet.
And people might be worrying, like, well, okay, like TV side of it, people are going to be working. They're not going to be able to watch the first 2 days of match play. They're not going to be able to watch, the match play going forward. No, you can push it all back, and because we're going to have less golfers golfing that we need to keep an eye on. And so
you have 8. Yeah, you have 8 twosomes.
8 groups. Yeah, 8 twosomes going out. I mean, you can start that at 2:00 over here, 4:00. Even 1:00 over here. That'd be what, 4:00 over on the east.
Well, eight twosomes. You space them out by about 15. Maybe you give them a little extra space so there's no like pace of play issues.
Yeah.
But 8 twosomes going out. You space them 15, maybe 18 minutes apart. You're talking about 2.5 hours between first tee time and last tee time. So you can start that, for the East Coast, because I assume last tee time you probably want going out would be
3-4 hours before sunset.
I was going to, no, definitely not pushing it that close. I was going to say 2-3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But these are just the first 2 rounds of match play on Thursday and Friday. And keep in mind, we have you look at March Madness.
Yeah, true.
Games going on all day.
True.
Thursday and Friday for the, first round, and then also the Sweet 16. So, people are going to find a way to watch. And a lot of people, I know here on the West Coast, like most of that golf is going to happen while you're probably at work. But if you do it that way, right? Because you can probably, like I said, you put the first tee times probably around noon, 1:00, have the last 2 times around 2-3. You're gonna finish your round out just fine, without having worries about the sun starting to set or anything like that. And if it might be a little early. Obviously, over here on the West Coast, you're gonna have it starting at 10. Last group's going to be out probably about noon, 1:00. Golf's going to wrap up by the time you're finishing your work day. But it is what it is. If you're on the East Coast, you are going to have a couple hours of primetime golf going on for when those are finishing. And then, the last 2 rounds of that are going to be Saturday, Sunday, so it doesn't matter. And you can run with that. But like I said, from a viewership, especially a gambling standpoint, I think it's going to draw a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
A lot more eyes onto that versus a normal golf tournament. I know there's a big golf betting community, but I think that might grow if you're like, oh, head-to-head match play, like
head-to-head match play, and I get a bracket. You're telling me I got a bracket to fill out,
and a bracket. People are going to be.
I get a bracket, Noah.
Brackets. Yeah.
I want to fill out more brackets. I only fill out like 75 during March Madness, so I need more brackets in my life.
So, anyways, I think we cracked the code.
Yeah, we fixed it.
If anybody at the PGA is listening, this is how you start.
I think this is the 3rd sport we fixed, because we fixed the WNBA. We fixed that multiple times.
No, we didn't.
We did.
There's no fixing the WNBA.
No, I know there's not, but we fixed it for them, and they're just not. They just definitely won't do anything that we've ever suggested. We fixed golf. We fixed the PGA Tour Championship. And then we fixed the MLB a couple of times.
Sure. All right.
I'll give us credit. Anyway, shout out to that. Anything else before we get into the Tour Championship, Noah?
No. That was that's the new proposed championship.
Our proposed. Can we submit that formally to the PGA? Let's type that up. Let's put it on Twitter and at the PGA, and just be like, and Tiger, because he's the committee. Be like, hey guys, this would be sick. I think we do that, Noah. I think that would do us numbers.
Well, and it gives them an opportunity too with a little mini tournament Tuesday, Wednesday. You got some good golfers in there, and people will tune in. It's probably not going to draw like huge numbers, but
well, it might. Someone like Rory. Let's say Rory has a down year. Rory doesn't play as many tournaments. And he just barely scrapes into the top 30 there. Then you got Rory McIlroy playing for his life in the PGA, to get into the Tour Championship. Like that would be, because it's not top 30 anymore. It's the top 16 that are going into the final 4 days,
Yeah, and again, I like it too because it adds a little more playoffs feel where one bad round you're going to be punished, right? I mean,
yeah.
If you're in that kind of 9 through 30 spot and you have one bad round but counteract it with a really, really phenomenal round, you're going to move on. But once you get into that match play, you have one bad round, you're out.
Done.
And it really kind of puts some more pressure on like college basketball is, right? Where it's like you got to have your A game 4 days in a row.
Yeah, you cannot have a bad round. You cannot have a bad hole. It would be interesting, but
it also opens up the door to Cinderellas,
Yes, it does. People get hot at the right times. Anyway, Noah, let's stop fantasizing about how great our form of the Tour Championship would be, and let's talk about what we're actually dealing with this week, and that is the Tour Championship being hosted at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a par 70, 7,440 yards, has just undergone renovations. It is a $40 million purse, and of course, the one, the only, the man who is really freaking good at golf, Scotty Scheffler, is your previous winner here. But Noah, not only have there been renovations done to this course recently, on top of all of the Bermuda grass they've put in, like literally, there is a huge note on here that says so much Bermuda grass. Like it's going to be a time, brother. It screams triple bogey golf. Like if I was to play it. That's how this course is gonna play if I was to play. Like it's triple bogey golf. These fairways are so tight. These greens are gonna be rough. Are gonna be fast. It's my worst nightmare because God knows I can't hit that ball straight. And not only that, you're dealing with a lot of golf dog legs that aren't too far out, so you got to shape that shot perfectly. Noah, we're in for it. We're in for a beautiful tournament, dude. We're in for a beautiful tournament.
Yeah, no, in East Lake, very special golf club, East Lake Golf Club. If you're a PGA Tour fan, you know that. Love to see the championship at East Lake, and it's a beautiful course. It's a beautiful course. It's a toughish course. Yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Oh, yeah. The weather, on the other hand, might not be so great.
Let's go to the Money Train Weather Report, sponsored by Road Dogg. How are we looking, Noah?
We're going to be looking just fine tomorrow.
Okay.
87, relatively high humidity, so it's not going to be comfortable, but they just got done playing in Memphis and Baltimore, basically.
Yeah.
Not going to be much different than the last 2 weeks, comfort-wise. Wind, not a huge factor. And then comes the rain. Temperature going to drop off a little bit for the rest of this. Going to be kind of low 80s. Humidity staying up there, but we are looking at rain Friday, high of 82. A little bit of wind. Saturday, more of the same. Sunday, more of the same with less wind. So, not supposed to be having any big storms or any lightning. So hopefully play won't be suspended at all. We're not looking at heavy rain, but we are looking at consistent lighter showers through all of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
So it's going to be wet out there, which might actually improve the scoring because as those greens start soaking up water, as they don't get the opportunity to firm up, there could be some opportunity for pin seeking.
Yeah. You start getting that soft
on some wetter greens. Obviously, ball's not going to roll out as far in the fairway, but if you're hitting the fairway, I think that's going to be the big key here. I think the weather is going to stress that hitting the fairway is going to be more and more important than it normally would be, especially once you start getting that wet rough, that grass starts really, really growing and soaking up that water. The rough might turn into a little bit of hell, but the fairway, just plop it on in there, and then you should have an opportunity to pin seek, especially once we get to late Saturday and all of Sunday with just consistent rain.
For sure. No, I love that. I mean, golfers ain't gonna love that, but I love that for us. Let's go ahead and get into the picks, Noah. I'm not going to lie. I don't have anything in the top 20 with a 30-man field. The prices just weren't where I was comfortable laying any action in particular with the golfers that I like in this one. Is there anyone that you liked or want to talk about in the top 20?
Yeah, I actually have a decent slate of top 20 picks here.
Oh, shit. Okay.
They are all at not super attractive odds.
Where are we starting? Rory McIlroy minus 1,100?
No. Call me a madman for doing this, but Tommy Fleetwood at minus 700.
I don't hate it. Like I don't love that number. I do not hate the pick. If that makes sense.
I did waffle on this one. Russell Henley at minus 550. I have zero problem taking, and this is a name that does not get talked about enough.
No.
I mean, he's going to be on the Ryder Cup. He's top 6 in points there. Russell Henley's been... I don't know why Russell Henley just never gets talked about, but he's had a phenomenal year. He's been good the last couple of years. So, in a 30-man field, I don't think Henley's finishing outside of the top 20.
I like it.
And I'm not throwing a lot on these. These are just like... out of 8 picks here for the top 20. I'm assuming at least 7 of them hit, so I'm going to be okay. Because the returns are not going to be great.
No.
Next on my list, I got JJ Spawn.
Don't hate it. Don't love it.
I feel like he's played really good golf. I do feel like there is some risk there, but at 400, I'm okay taking it that he finishes in the top 2/3. And the reason for that is I do think there are 8 or 10 golfers in the top 30 here who I don't have a lot of faith in. So even if Spawn doesn't have his A game, I think he's going to be okay. I've got a trio of golfers at minus 300.
Okay.
On my card here, I got Bobby Mack, Ben Griffin, and Maverick McNeely. I'm okay with all of them at minus 300. Not worrying about it. Maybe my favorite top 20 pick here, Harris English at minus 275. Another guy who's in that top 6 for the Ryder Cup, getting an auto bid and is not talked about at all, kind of getting disrespected with the lines here. And then to round it out here, I wanted to take Akshay Bhatia so bad.
I know.
I wanted to so bad, but I can't. I don't have that confidence in him right now. I'm gonna take Justin Rose at minus 225 just because I am okay with where that line is at.
Okay.
And then that was my last pick there. I've been big on Andrew Novak, but after finishing dead last, 49th last week at whatever the fuck 15-20 over that he was.
Yeah.
Not saying he can't bounce back, but I'm not overly confident that we're going to see a bounce back out of him.
I get it. I totally get it. I don't like.
At least not enough for me to still ride a minus odds on him to top 20 because I think all 30 golfers were minus odds.
Yeah, every single one.
Or we might have gotten into like plus 125 there at.
No, who was it at minus 115? Andrew Novak at minus 115 to top 20.
Which I don't think he should be the worst odds. Actually, fuck it. I'm taking a flyer on Novak.
Minus 115. I mean, those are the best odds you're seeing on there. I don't hate it.
I am taking a flyer on Novak to top 20 at minus 115. I'm not taking him any farther than that this week. But you're giving me almost even odds that he finishes in the top 2/3. He's a good golfer. I'm okay with it. I will not lose any sleep over that. So sure. Add Novak to my card at minus 115.
I got it.
In case he decides to show up this week.
Just in case he decides to put his golfer pants on and hit a couple balls. I like it, Noah. Let's go ahead and get into the top 10. Noah, no shocker here. Scotty Scheffler still in the lead here at minus 1,200. Rory not far behind it, 225. Where do you want to start here?
Going back to Fleetwood.
Okay, I like it. I co-sign that.
Hate the Scott. I can't do minus 1,200 with Scotty.
No, that's wild.
Bigger fields. And with Scotty, the weird thing is like the field size doesn't matter for me, right?
No.
Because if we had a field of like 90 people, Scotty's still top 10ing, but the odds are going to be like minus 500, minus 550. Yeah. I'm okay taking that. 1,200 is just like ridiculous. Like if Scotty just doesn't perform or even finishes like tied 11th, like 1,200 is just not doing it for me. Rory, I just don't have the confidence at minus 225 that he's going to be where he needs to be. I don't love the Fleetwood line at minus 150, but it's okay. I'm taking it.
Yeah, it's fine.
He has been playing really good golf the last 4 or 5 weeks, so I will ride that. I love Russell Henley at minus 115.
Yeah.
I just wish it was like a plus 115 instead of
minus.
That
would be nice.
But I'm okay with it. And then I am going to take my same trio at the minus 300. I'm going to take Bobby Mack, Ben Griffin, Maverick McNeely, all sitting between 140, 150. I think those are A-OK lines for guys who have been playing really good golf. And if Ben Griffin doesn't overdose on creatine again, I think we're going to be okay. Which is so funny. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that, yeah.
How he accidentally OD'd on
creatine. What the fuck?
And that's why he fucking four-putt triple bogey the first hole or some shit like that?
Something like that, yeah. He had a very bad first hole. Anyway, any other picks?
He fucking four-putted from like 10 or 12 feet or something like that, which is crazy. But he said he was just shaking, jittering because of all the creatine.
Sure.
Give me Harris English plus 160 on there as well.
Yep.
I'm feeling a big week from Harris English, and honestly, I feel like he's maybe the guy who's being disrespected the most by the odds this week.
Anything else?
No, that's what I got to round up my top 10.
I like it. I'm taking a couple more shots here in the top 10, so I'm going to start from the bottom up. I'm betting on my boy Sung Jae to top 10 this at plus 275 with the season he's been having. I got to take one more shot on my boy Sung Jae.
He barely squeaked into the top 30. His fate was in His fate was in other golfers' hands Sunday afternoon.
But he got there.
Yeah, other guys messed up and Sung Jae snuck in.
He got there. So I will take one last bet on Sung Jae for the season. I like the Maverick McNeely pick. I'm all over Bobby Mack and Ben Griffin. I am going to take a flyer on Sepp Straka at plus 130. Not having a great back half of the season, but still a guy that I would hope can do better.
I think Sepp's going to finish outside of the top 20 here.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Given that there was a personal family issue, which is the reason he didn't play.
Oh, is there? I didn't hear about that.
Well, that's why he didn't play last week.
Oh.
Um, I don't know if he flew back to Austria or if his family is in the U.S. that he was dealing with that. But
Well, then,
if he flew to Austria last week and back to the States, I mean, those are some long ass flights. He might be dealing with some jet lag.
yeah, I'm gonna take him
Seems
off
to
my
affect some people,
card.
others it doesn't. But I'm just weary about taking any sort of step action here.
Yeah, I did not hear about that family issue. So T's and P's. Hope everything's okay, Sep. I am going to take him off my card for this week. And I would do that with any athlete with any mental, like any distractions like that, any family issues. So again, hope everything is okay, but gambling reasons. I will take a flyer on JJ then plus 115. I feel like I gotta get another bet on there. I like Russell Henley. I've been flip flopping on Ludwig this week, and I think I'm going to end up not taking him. I'm going to end up live betting him at a
Hates the
bad
weather.
number.
He hates weather. He just
He
hates
does.
in a very general sense.
So
I
maybe
know.
I'll take him to top 5, like round 1 or round 2.
Yeah, because not a lot of wind, which wind is his mortal enemy.
His kryptonite, yeah.
But 3 days of rain, just Ludwig for some reason just
Can't get it done.
fucking hates weather.
He does.
If it's not sunny and a decent temperature, Ludwig's like, fuck this shit.
Well, then I am on Tommy.
Played fine last week with heat and humidity, but there was no rain. So
Yeah. I'm going to sit with Tommy then at minus 115, minus 150. And we'll call it a day, Noah. Let's go ahead and get into the top 5 here. I'm not going to lie, minus 400 here. I am going to bite on Scotty at minus 400.
I am. You might be shocked by this, but I'm actually staying off of Scotty.
Really?
I absolutely hate every single line, including outright. And spoiler alert, I know we're not on outrights yet, but I do think there is going to be a point if you are following this tournament Thursday through Sunday where you can get Scotty at a better line outright than
that has happened. Yeah, we have seen that happen the last couple weeks.
And that's the reason I'm staying off of that. And for that same logic, you can probably find a better opportunity to take him top 5, top 10 than a minus 400, minus 1200. And some weeks I'm sitting here saying this is the best line you're going to get on Scotty all tournament probably. This week, I don't think that's the case. I think there's going to be a point where Scotty's, Thursday or Friday, Scotty's going to be 4, 5, 6 strokes back one way or another. Whether he's mid-round or round completed, whatever, but somebody's going to have good rounds, and you're going to have a better line on Scotty. So I would strongly urge sitting back and waiting and picking your opportunity with taking any Scotty lines.
Okay. Fair enough. Where do you want to go from there?
That being said, I like Russell Henley at plus 240. That's a line I can get behind. Bobby Mack, Maverick McNeely, Ben Griffin, Harris English, all sitting between 400 and 450. I feel like there's a good chance that one, if not two of those hit. If one of those 4 hits, it's a wash. If 2 of them hit, you're in the green big time. And that's my top 5. I'm not going to say I'm putting the stamp of approval that this is going to be the top 5 because Scotty's probably going to be in there. But 4 of these guys plus Scotty, boom, top 5, said and done.
I get it. I co-sign Maverick McNeely and Ben Griffin. I like Russell Henley, and I am going to take Tommy Fleetwood to at plus 190 to top 5 this.
See, I hate that line.
I get it. I get it. I don't know why. It's sitting well with me this week.
And I can't take Rory at plus 120. Like
you can't touch that, no.
Man, Rory at plus 120 is just not at all fucking doing it for me.
Nope. Let's go to outrights, Noah. What you got?
I got none. I got none outright because I think Scotty's probably going to win this. If I had to guess, the dude's pretty fucking good at golf.
He is. He's pretty good.
But he only wins about a third of the time.
So he's won 1 out of 2. So this would be his 3rd. Huh.
Yeah, so I'm going to hold off on Scotty again because I do think I will be able to pick and choose my timing to get a better line than plus 150 on him. I haven't looked at when the tee times are, but I assume Scotty's a later tee time on Thursday, earlier tee time on Friday. But, we're going to sit in the weeds and wait here because I do think I am going to get a better line on Scotty sometime mid-tournament than plus 150.
Scotty is the latest. Tomorrow he's going out with Rory.
Oh, that's right, because the championship, they do it in order.
Yep. And so first out tomorrow, we've got Akshay and Chris Goddard up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait because if somebody decides to shoot a 6, 7, 8 under tomorrow,
yeah, that could be great for Scotty lines.
And Scotty is a predator hunting prey, so him being behind. Case in point, last week being 4 strokes back going into Sunday, and you had him at a plus 180. If you took it after Saturday's round before Sunday's round started, you had Scotty plus 180. Sitting in second place, and what did he do? Just cleaned up. So I'm going to sit and wait. I'm going to sit and wait on Scotty, who I do think Scotty wins this. He's my pick to win. Not that that's anything crazy to say, but I'm going to sit and wait on it and pick my timing and probably bet Scotty with a better than plus 150 line at one point or another.
I like that strategy. I do have one outright, and this is more I'm taking it because I'm not going to be in a position to be placing bets, live bets when I probably need to on Saturday or early Sunday. So this is just going to be my one flyer for the outrights. I worked for Disney, Noah. I'm a sucker for fairy tales and Cinderella stories. Give me Tommy Fleetwood at plus 1,400 to win his first PGA event as the Tour champion, Noah.
God, that would be a Disney story right there.
It would be. I'm not going to lie. I didn't hear that first. I was listening to PMT on my way to work on Monday, and they came up with that. And I was like, ooh, I like that story. I like that arc. And that would be such a crescendo for an incredible season that Tommy Fleetwood has had. So I want to be a part of it. So I'm going to throw a little cheddar on Tommy Fleetwood to go ahead and win this bitch.
That would be quite a way to get a first win.
That would be a hell of a first win. Hell of a first win. Has there ever been someone who their first win was? I got to find this out now.
No, because we've had the damn preferred scoring, so ain't nobody.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's never happened. So this would be the first time it's able to happen, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. Literally, couldn't happen to a better guy than Tommy Fleetwood. I'd be a fan of that.
Yeah, because he's got the record for most career PGA starts without a win.
Yeah, and he's been playing great. So he's just gotta wrap it up, and maybe he can get it done this weekend.
Yeah, because I know the two big ones that are looming is that, and then Victor Hovland has the most career among active golfers, the most career wins without a major win. But Tommy Fleetwood has the most career starts without a win.
Yes. So shout out Fleetwood. I'm pulling for you this weekend, bud.
Sorry, not most starts. Tommy Fleetwood has the most, I think, top tens without a win.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the one. Tommy Fleetwood has the most top tens without getting that win off his back, and Hovland's sitting with the. And Hovland's won the fucking Tour Championship a year or two ago.
Yeah, but he can't
get a major.
Can't get a major. But no, I'm pulling for Fleetwood. I cannot wait to congratulate Scotty though on another Tour Championship.
Nobody's ever back to back.
True. So we could be seeing history either way with that. So that'd be fun. But
granted, I don't think the Tour Championship started when Tiger was in his absolute prime. I know Tiger's won it 4, 5, 6 times, whatever the fuck it is, but never back to back.
Well, do you have anything else on the PGA or golf, Noah?
No, I think that's that. AJ, if you're okay, taking just like a 1 to 2 minute before we get
Yeah.
into week 0 of the college football
Yeah.
slate.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, we'll step away for a quick minute and then we will be all about week 0. We will have all of our plays for every game in week 0 this week to kick off college football. You're not going to want to miss that. Before we go on break, though, do just want to shout out everyone watching on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit that like button, hit the follow button. Helps us out a lot more than you know. I'm the Perfect One, AJ. That's the Money Train Noah. We'll be right back. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. 3, 2. And we are back. What's up, D-Gens? Perfect One AJ. Money Train Noah with me. And we are finally, Noah. Finally, after being so patient, after waiting so long, we are finally ready to talk about our picks for week 0 of college football, for regular season college football, the official real kickoff of football season, Noah. And we got a fun slate. We've got a fun slate. And yeah, I think fun is the appropriate word to use. We got a fun slate to kick off week 0 here.
Yeah, it's a short one, but that week 0 always is.
It's a nice appetizer. It's a nice little appetizer before the main course.
Yeah, there's looking at it, I think we're probably going to get about 2 good competitive games, and the rest will just be what it is. But we'll be betting on it. We'll be betting the full slate this week.
You bet.
probably the only time we can say that until the college football playoff rolls around.
Also, you bet.
But well, until bowl season rolls around, this is full first time that we'll be saying we are betting the full slate.
Full slate.
We do it every week for the NFL, but
Yeah,
lot
that's
less
much different.
lot less teams, it turns out, in the NFL than there is in college football.
You don't,
So.
and we're not a math show, and we figured that one out pretty quickly. But, dude, no, I'm excited. Do you have any notes or anything you want to talk about college football wise before we get into this?
Oh, I just cannot wait to wake up Saturday morning, turn on College Game Day, get excited about that. In Ireland, College Game Day in Ireland. Shout out to guest picker Seamus last year, who I think there were 6 games, went like 5-1. Did a great job. I just can't wait to roll out of bed, turn on college football, and then I will actually be back home in Minnesota this weekend. So I, don't have to get up at 7 to watch College Game Day. I can get up at 9 and watch College Game Day for an 11 a.m. kickoff there at Aer Lingus Stadium overseas. But I love that they do this Week 0 Ireland game.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's gotten better every single year. And what better way to kick off the college football season than a really good fucking rivalry game?
Yeah.
We have fucking Farmageddon.
Farmageddon, brother.
No. It's not week 14 to end the season. Farmageddon's happening overseas in Ireland to kick off the college football season. And oh my God, shit, dude. I'm hard.
We're ready, brother. We're ready. Let's go ahead and hop into it. We've talked about it enough. Opening us up for the college football season in Dublin, Ireland is Farmageddon. We've got Iowa State, Kansas State here. Kansas State coming in as a 3. What the fuck? There we go. Coming in as a 3-point favorite. This is fucked. Coming in as a 3-point favorite, minus 160 on the money line, 50.5 is the total. Is that better? No, that is so much worse. Noah, I can't figure this shit out. We're going to go with that for right now.
It's fine. We're
all right.
Numbers in front of us, doesn't matter how big or small they are.
And let's go ahead. We haven't done this in a while. Let's look at where the public's at on this one. No, we do have 53% of the bets, but only 41% of the money coming in on K-State. So a lot of money, coming in on Iowa State. On the +3 at 59%. Money line.
Pretty evenly split.
Fairly even. Money line, though. At minus 150, you got 82% of the bet, 77% of the money coming in on Kansas State, Noah.
Okay.
Yeah, coming in on Kansas State. So a lot of faith in what has already been built there at Kansas State with Avery and everything like that. A lot of returning talent there. Playing overseas, which we know can always get wacky. Started off with FSU absolutely flopping on their face last season. Will we see the same thing this year? Noah, where are you? What is your first official pick of the college football season?
Oh boy, I'm glad you asked, because my first official pick here, AJ, is going to be actually my dog of the week.
Oh!
My dog of the week. I am taking Iowa State on the money line here. I know they did lose a bit in that receiver room, but you got Rocco Beck coming back. You have a tremendous running back room there in Iowa State that doesn't get talked about enough. And I have spoke about before that I do think Avery Johnson is a tad overrated. I don't think it's I'm not going to sit here and shit on Avery Johnson. Obviously he's got a good skill set, but I do think he gets overhyped and has been, and I just haven't seen it out on the field enough. I think Rocco Beck, in my opinion, is the number 1 quarterback in the Big 12 going into this season. That's probably a hot take. Yes, his receiver room has taken a hit. Obviously, having 2 guys going in the first 3 rounds into the NFL draft. But I think Rocco and company, and I love where the program's at with Iowa State. I did when we, I think a week or 2 ago, when we were talking about kind of power conferences a little bit, or just going through the AP poll, I said I'm feeling an Iowa State Texas Tech Big 12 championship this year, which I know they're like the 4th and 5th ranked or 3rd and 4th ranked Big 12 teams going into the start of the season. Big 12 is always chaos, so who knows what's going to happen. But I think Iowa State gets on top of it. I think they get the win in Farmageddon, not in week 14, but in or 14, 15, whatever, however many weeks. I know there's multiple buys in college football season, but I think Iowa State gets a win over their rival in Ireland, takes care of business. I'm going over 50 and a half, too. I think we're going to see points in this. It's not going to be played in the snow like it is half the time, but you know what? Give me that Iowa State, and I really think the big difference maker is I think Iowa State's run game.
Yeah.
I think their O-line is going to dominate K-State's D-line, and I think they're going to be running the ball all over K-State. Rocco Beck might not even have that great of a game, but he's not going to need to because they're just going to be dominating the trenches here. Give me Iowa State on the money line. Give me the over in this game.
I like it, Noah. I like it. And I like that it was your dog of the week, Noah, because
I only had 5 games to choose from, and
I know.
3 of them are double-digit spreads. So
I understand, but I'm glad that it was your dog of the week, and we get to start off the college football season with a big pick like that from you. Because Noah, after a year in retirement, I decided to dust something off the shelf, and I decided to really put my stamp back on the college football scene.
Oh, we got
Noah.
a shirt.
Oh, Noah. Oh, Noah, I like it so much.
I
put it on a shirt. Give me Iowa State money line. Don't mind the design. We will work through that throughout the season, but I like it so much. We're putting it on a shirt the first time in a year. Iowa State money line, Noah. Absolutely love it. The run game is the big factor for me. I think it's going to not only force Kansas State to stay in the box and really try to clamp that down and allow them to throw the ball if they feel like it, but I like this Iowa State team a lot. I like them a hell of a lot more than K-State. We've seen what K-State is and will be. Love it so much. I put it on the shirt. Give me Iowa State on the money line, brother.
If you're in a state where you can prop bet college football, I know we're not in Arizona. Abu Sama III, watch out for him to have 200 yards and 3 tutties in this game. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. He has torn up Kansas State once before his freshman year. He's a junior now. Watch out, Kansas State. The skeletons are going to come out of the closet, and Abu Sama III is going to have a fucking phenomenal game in this. I think he's going to be, like I said, don't be surprised when he goes for 200 yards and 3 tutties on the ground.
No, do not be shocked whatsoever.
And I love Rocco Beck, but I don't think he's going to be the storyline of this game.
No, not at all. I mean, he could end up, again, if that run game opens up enough and Kansas State has to slide, he could end up being, just having a day for himself. It doesn't matter, though, because either way you draw it up, the shirt, the dog of the day, Iowa State money line.
Yeah, and let's not forget, too. Let's not forget that Iowa State had a tremendous season last year. Yeah, they lost some key wide receivers, but this was a damn good team last year.
Damn good team.
Damn good team.
And I think it'll.
Last year. Matt Campbell is. Now, don't hate me if you're an Iowa State fan, but he's the best coach that this school has ever had in the history of this football program. Matt Campbell knows what he's doing. I think another year like last year, and Matt Campbell's going to be swooped up by an SEC or a Big Ten school.
Okay, I can see that.
But for now, especially if Iowa State takes care of business in the Cy-Hawk rivalry as well, there's a lot to love with Iowa State, even though they did lose a couple pieces to the draft. But I'm not too worried about that. I think they're gonna reload. They're gonna lock in again, and it'll be a competitive game. I think it'll be a closer game, but I do like Iowa State coming out on top.
I love it.
Glad you agree, AJ. You loved it so much you put it on a shirt.
So much I had to put it on a shirt, Noah. Yeah, beyond excited. That is coming back this season, though. I've decided that the shirt is back this season, so it's going to be a good one. No, I can feel it in the bones already. I can feel it. But let's go ahead and keep it moving, Noah, to the next game on the slate. Should be an interesting one. We've got Idaho State and UNLV. UNLV 26.5-point favorites here, minus 4,000 on the money line, 65.5 is the total. Idaho State coming into this one after a 5-7 season. New quarterback coming in. He led the FCS in offense in 23. He was a medical redshirt last season, so we did not get to see him, and might have been a reason Idaho State did suffer last year. But besides the quarterback sitting out last year, this defense stunk. This defense stunk last year, and it doesn't seem like they made much adjustments. Still got the same DC there. Didn't add much there. UNLV, though, kind of starting from scratch after a solid season last year. New head coach, a lot of transfers coming in. I mean, Noah, what do you make of this with 26.5 points, our biggest so far of the day?
Yeah, I mean, this should be, in UNLV, no doubt the front runner of, well, I guess not this year because Pac-12 football hasn't officially started this year. That's next year, right? Yeah. So you got little brother in the Mountain West because Boise State's just going to take care of business. UNLV, that program is doing good things. They're trending in the right direction. They should have joined the Pac-12. Instead, they decided to be stubborn. But, man, let's not forget Idaho State, FCS. They are a frisky FCS team.
They are.
They're a frisky FCS team, and I think 26.5 is far, far, far too many points here. I'm taking Idaho State going on the road, keeping this one at least within 3. I think they'll keep it within 3 touchdowns. I don't think they're losing by 20 plus. I really do. I'm going to go ahead and take the under at 65.5 as well. I mean, that's a really high under. I think Idaho State is going to be okay enough to like limit UNLV's scoring to the point where this game isn't tremendously high scoring. And that being said, goes hand in hand with them keeping it within 26.5.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Noah. I mean, just a lot of changes with UNLV, a lot of pieces that are new there, and Idaho State getting their quarterback back, a defense that hopefully will step up a little bit more. Not to mention, Noah, I miss this so much. 56% of the bets, 88% of the money coming in on UNLV at minus 26.5.
Crazy.
And
that's a huge spread. Huge spread.
Huge. And so we get public. We just get the public in week 0.
Don't discount the FCS teams.
No, don't do it. Wow, big first 2 games for us in this college football season. Noah, your dog of the day, my first shirt of the season. I mean, and now we're dealing with fading the public for the first time in the college football season. I love it, dude. We're so back. We're all the way back. But yeah, I'm on Idaho State plus 27.5 as well. I get where you're coming out with the 65.5. I can't get there. I think we might be looking at a good old-fashioned shootout, so I'm going to stay off that. Let's go ahead and move on, Noah, to Fresno State and Kansas. Kansas, 12.5-point favorites at home in their brand new, beautiful-looking stadium. Absolutely. It's a good-looking stadium. It's a good-looking stadium. Shout out to them for getting a good stadium. Minus 480 on the money line. 50.5 is the total here, Noah. Fresno State, they went through some changes like a lot of college teams do, but they went ahead and got 2-time Natty winner from North Dakota State, Matt Entz, to come in and be their head coach this season. Not only that, EJ Warner, yes, Kurt Warner, that guy. His son is transferring over from Rice after blowing it up last season and will be the starting quarterback there. While Kansas sticking with Jalen Daniels, Lance Leopold, a lot of the same from the last couple of seasons we've saw, but have won the last 4 season openers, Noah. Public, 66% of the bet, 61% of the money on who?
Gotta be Kansas.
Gotta be Kansas. It is Kansas at 12.5, Noah. Line is down from 14 to 12.5, so probably got a little early action in there on Fresno at the 14, the full 2 touchdowns, now down to the 12.5. Where are you at on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Fresno should be improved off of a pretty dismal season last year. Not the only team to go after one of the Dakota schools to bring in a head coach, and obviously when that happens, you got FCS versus FBS. A lot of players following.
Yeah.
A lot of players following. Because Washington State also brought in his name's escaping me from one of the two South Dakota schools. A lot of players following over there. I think Washington State is going to positively benefit from that. So
Yeah.
Fresno. But again, I mean, I think Kansas had a really down year. They had a really tremendous out of character year 2 years ago, and last year was kind of a down year, disappointment. I think Kansas is going to bounce back. You got Jalen Daniels coming back again. And this dude has a lot of really good potential. He does some stupid boneheaded shit sometimes, but if he can stay healthy, he's going to be fine. And he will be healthy for week 0. That's the thing. He will be fully healthy. I got no problem with Kansas covering a 2-touchdown spread in this one at home. Unveiling of a new stadium. I think it's going to be A-okay. I'm all over the over on 50.5 as well because I think Kansas is going to put up 37, 40 points on their own.
Yeah. I get it. I'm all over the over as well. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring affair here. But I've been flip-flopping on this one because at the end of the day, what I come down to is it would be the most Kansas football thing ever to lose your season opener in the opening of your new stadium. Like, that just screams Kansas football to me, Jayhawk football, and I have not been able to get that out of my head. I agree with you. Jalen Daniels has all the potential in the world, but we haven't seen those, gaps and those jumps, the downgrading, or not downgrading, the lowering of the boneheaded mistakes that he does make. And that does worry me going into the season. And I don't know. I think this Fresno State team is going to be a little bit more up than people are expecting. I'm going to take them to cover the 12.5. I'm not going to touch the money line. That's going to be a live betting result for me. I will say I like the line a hell of a lot more with Fresno State as 14-point dogs. May buy a point or two and feel good about myself. But for right now, for this show's purposes, I will take Fresno State at 12.5.
All right.
That's where I'm at. First disagreement. Big first of the seasons on this show tonight, Noah.
Well, and if you do tune into the show, you do know AJ and I tend to, with college football more than any other sport, our picks and slates tend to look a lot more similar.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that is, I haven't really broken it down, but we do tend to have less disagreements with how we're seeing the college football board than
any other board
or college basketball or anything like that. So
it is crazy. I've noticed that too. It's wild, and I don't know why, but
yeah.
And then we will have no picks that are the same on the NFL slate that week. Like it's
yeah. We'll go full hive mind on college football, and then the NFL slate we're just like on opposite sides of everything.
We're like, have you been watching the same games? It's great. It's great. I can't wait, Noah. But let's keep it moving. Sam Houston State going up against the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers with arguably my favorite mascot in college sports. I love it's just a red blob. It's a Hilltopper, whatever that is. And so shout out to the Hilltopper. They're 10.5 point favorites going into this one, minus 420. Nice. 61.5 is the total here, Noah. Sam Houston going through a lot of changes as well. New head coach and Phil Longo coming in. Previously the OC at Wisconsin, so bringing some air raid with him. They got a quarterback in there named Hunter, who's a dual threat quarterback, apparently, from what I've been reading and from what I've been seeing. So we'll see how dual threat he really is. But they did have to replace all 11 starters on the defense this offseason. Western Kentucky did have to replace a lot too. Only 34% of the team is returning. But Noah, you got to understand, okay, about this Western Kentucky team. They got a bro at starting quarterback transferring in from Abilene Christian, okay? Maverick McLover. I don't know if McLover is his actual last name. It's McLovr. So I'm deciding that it's Maverick McLover, which what a name, what a dog, what a quarterback. And so if you can't tell, Noah, I'm going with the Hilltoppers minus the 10.5 here.
Yeah, this was actually one of, if not the toughest out of our 5-game slate for me to pick this week with that 10.5 line.
Yeah, it's a shitty line.
It's a lot of turnover for both teams. Both teams had, and this is a conference game, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Let me double check myself, but yeah.
Yeah, this is a conference matchup here in week 0, our second conference matchup of week 0. A lot of turnover, which does tend to happen with these smaller FBS schools. When you have really good seasons, which both teams, Western Kentucky, better season than Sam Houston State, but I want to say Western won at least 10 games and Sam Houston State won at least 8 or 9.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to get a lot of your players taken off your roster. So the roster turnover is just a normal thing. It's not a point of concern for me for either of them.
Sam Houston went 10-3 last year. Western Kentucky went 8-6.
Oh, but Western beat them 31-10.
Yeah.
Okay. So Western did not have quite as good of a season. Western obviously being heavily favored in this one. Kind of making me rethink where I was. I have been waffling a lot on this, but you know what? Actually, I am going to flop. I had Western Kentucky written down, but I'm going to go Sam Houston State here.
Ooh, okay.
To cover 10.5. I'm strongly on the under in this game, though, and that has not changed.
Okay. I'm staying away from the total. I'm not getting a read on it, so
I think it's going to be a tight game, and I don't think it's going to be overly high scoring. It is a conference game, even though it is in week 0. So
yeah,
I'm okay with under. The under's pretty high for me, and I am going to flop to take Sam Houston State to cover 10.5.
Fair enough. Let's go ahead and move on to the last game on the slate for week 0. Noah, we're talking Stanford at Hawaii. Hawaii, 2.5-point favorites going into this one, -130 on the money line. 50.5 is the total here. Stanford head coach Frank Reich, have you heard of him? The Stanford sucked last year. I don't know if you knew that. No, they got Oregon State transfer quarterback and Ben Gulbranson coming in. Offense wasn't great last year. Defense wasn't great last year. I'm not so much sure how much Ben helps that. I'm not so much sure how much Frank Reich helps that. Whereas Hawaii, returning everything from last season pretty much, had a pretty mediocre season last year, and I don't see them changing a lot this season. But Noah, our first Hawaii game, unfortunately, it is a 4:30 kickoff here on the West Coast and not a good old-fashioned 10:59 kickoff that we are used to. But what are your thoughts on this one besides the over?
That's so funny because I am on the over.
I know, I am too. It's a Hawaii game.
It was criminally low for a Hawaii game. But,
yeah.
I didn't even think twice about this one. I got Stanford on the money line. Not that I think Stanford's going to be tremendously great this year or anything like that, but yeah, I do think Stanford is going to go in and win by at least 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I'm not overly sold on Hawaii's football program and the state of it. They're going to be fine. They're going to probably go about 500 in conference play. Stanford just has more recruiting power, and I've seen a little bit of Stanford's kind of off-season kind of workouts, training, all of that, and it's enough for me to be confident that they will beat Hawaii. And that's my week 0 take on Stanford. I don't think they're going to do anything tremendous this season, but give me the over, give me Stanford on the money line.
I'm on the over as well. I'm going to go with Hawaii minus the 2.5. You will see kind of a theme with me in the early weeks here of the season of not having a lot of faith in teams that have had a lot of changes going into it, especially when you're getting a new head coach, new QB, a lot of stuff. It usually takes more than one season and sure as hell more than week 0 to get that going. And so I'm on Hawaii minus the 2.5. It ain't going to be a pretty game. It's going to be an over game, but it ain't going to be a pretty game to wrap up week 0, Noah. Woo!
Hell yeah.
First one in the bag. We only got a couple more left, so enjoy every one of them, bud. This goes faster than we remember, but that is what?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, I thought you did. But that's all the games we have in week 0. No, that's the week 0 slate. You got anything else on college football, the Tour Championship, or anything else before we wrap it up?
No, that is what I've got.
Sarah Swass, solid. Very solid stuff. We will have kind of a adjusted schedule next week. We will have a week 1 picks episode next week. No overreactions next week. And then we will pick right on up with overreactions of week 1, getting ready for week 1 of the NFL as well. But hey, with all that being said, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to everyone watching here on Rumble, YouTube, and X. Y'all are the best. If you like what we're cooking, please hit those like buttons, hit the follow buttons. Does help us out a lot more than you know. But that's all we've got. I'm the Bro 51 AJ. That's the Money Train Noah. See you guys next time on Degenerate Takes.